As the sun went down in late afternoon, on the 28th of February, 2003, I raised my voice above the roar of wind, calling out gently to the team of huskies stretched ahead of me. "Whoa there now! Whoa!" The low tone of my command was muffled by the ice-encrusted hood surrounding my face, and it did not carry far. The dogs heard me, but they hardly slowed at the sound. What? Surely he's not thinking of making camp here. I stood heavily on the sled's steel brake claws, forcing them deeper into the wind-packed snow. Our momentum fell off, and 10 frosty dog faces turned back, baffled to see what I was going to do next. "Whoa," I said again, and dropped the snow hook. I kicked it down with my thick muckluck. "That'll do. Home sweet home." It was time to camp, and the blank white sweep of tundra offered no shelter. The northwest gale had dominated our day, howling at us head-on, shifting slightly, probing for weakness like a tireless sparring partner, hour after hour. The rush of air had dropped perceptibly at day's end, but it still packed a wallop. With the temperature near 40 below zero, the wind was still eager to freeze any skin I might carelessly expose to it. I moved forward, up the team, and unhooked the toggle at the back of each dog's harness. Now my intentions were clear to them all, and as they felt the toggles come free, they each pissed, shook, circled, and curled up on the snow, tail over nose, furry shoulder turned toward the brunt of wind. Work done, day over. Call us when supper's ready, boss. The dogs and I were about halfway between the upper Thelon River and the east end of Great Slave Lake. We were westbound for home, with about 100 miles to go. It was time to stop the day's marching, dig in, pitch the tent, cook food for us all, and rest for the night. We would find no oasis of spruce trees, no cozy hut on these rolling plains. One barren hillside was as good as the next, and darkness was coming on. I started the chores. The dogs would sleep in harness that night, stretched out in pairs across a smooth, blank slope, so I only had to secure the forward end of their gangline to one of the stout aluminum pickets I carried in the sled. I walked to the head of the team again, poked the 30-inch stake into the packed snow, and made the gangline off to it. That done, I set up and lit the 2-burner camp stove, heaped big chunks of snow into a square cooker kettle, then sheltered the cooker and stove with a sheet metal windscreen. Over the next half hour or so, that snow would grudgingly become hot water. With that hot water, I could melt big blocks of frozen fat, then pour the water-fat soup over the dog's dense kibble. I moved up and down the team, putting a bright blue windbreaker on each dog, and taking off the cloth booties that they often wear on long runs in deep cold. Next, I staked out and raised my red tent alongside the sled, only a few feet away from Jasmine and Schooner, the 2 wheel dogs at the very back of the team. Every time I set something down, I secured it somehow, or threw something heavy on top of it, and by doing so managed to make camp that night without losing any bits of my gear to the wind. Through the 2 hours of dusk and deepening twilight, I worked steadily. Finally, with everything done outside and the dogs all fed, I could retreat to the tent to cook and eat my own supper, a steaming kettle of caribou meat, rice, and butter, seasoned to simple perfection with salt and pepper. An hour later, I could begin to get ready for sleep. This is a laughably laborious half-hour project when tent camping in winter. Change clothes, arrange bedding, prepare the stove for quick lighting in the morning, wriggle into double mummy bags with their confounding tangle of drawstrings, cord locks, snaps, and zippers. At last, I rolled sideways in my cocoon of goose down and synthetic fluff and blew out the candle. Pure blackness.